So they began putting in that mechanism in place. And I decided to replicate it, to pass on to all the printing houses. I realized that they were doing the same. They were shredding spoiled ballots and sheets without counting them.
Okay. For you to know the amount of extra that they used to replace the spoils.
Yes.
Okay. And what was left over?
What was left over.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it must all sum up to the 500 sheets, the 3,000 that you printed for your printing house operational losses.
Okay.
Not the easy 2% adjusted figure. No. I hope you get a difference.
Yeah, I do.
Good. Because the reason why I put these measures in place is that when they print the ballot from the printing machine, the sheets are semi-live.
Okay.
Semi-live in the sense that all the security codes are on it. The watermark, all security codes are printed on it. Everything except the serial number.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a different machine that will do the serialing.
Okay.
Understand my point?
Okay.
So once it is printed, everything is on it ready. So it's semi-live. Once they print the serial number on it, it becomes live.
Okay.
Ready to go for voting.
Okay.
Do you not understand?
I understand.
Okay. So the SS that they print are semi-live. Only waiting for the serial number to be put on it. Then it's gone. So if they still the semi-live, which is the SS, they pick 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 of the sheets. You times it by the rows. You know the number of ballots they have stolen. That is missing.
Okay.
So when they still the semi-live, they will hide it. When you are done with the whole printing and the EC is gone, NDC is gone, all the agents are gone, and everything is gone to the polling, the constituencies, nobody will pay attention anymore to the printing company because you are done with them.
Okay.
But those semi-live sheets that they were able to steal from the SS, that you were not meticulous, you didn't pay attention to, they can always take them back to the printing house or take them to any printing house. They will just put serial numbers on them. And they also become live.
And can be used.
And they move them to their region, to that particular region. Thumb print. And wait to send them to the polling station. And when we get there, I'll tell you how they do it. So to forestall that or to reduce that, it starts from the printing. How you manage the SS, they must account for it. For
everyone.
Every single sheet or every single ballot must be accounted for before they are shredded. I hope you are getting it.
So for now, that is the agreement we have with them.
For now, that's what is happening.
The agreement?
No, yeah, they are going by. That's what is happening.
Okay.
And that makes the MPP agents, NIB, National Security people uncomfortable. Each time I appear. Because I'll see something and I'll have to devise a way to deal with it.
But that should be easy because you're supposed to have to always be on the same page in terms of how things are done to make everybody comfortable.
Yeah, but when the printing companies are economical with information and they are not forthcoming with the figures, you need to find a way out. And now we know all the SSs in all the printing houses.
All the SSs in all.
The SSs they are printing, we know all.
Even the days when they did not give you the information, you can account for.
No, now they are giving all.
Okay.
Now all the polling, they are taking all the agents, they are taking all the print board figures.
No, I'm asking because you said you had to wait for days to.
No, that was initially.
Okay.
But after the protests and pushing, and we had challenges and misunderstanding here and there. Things have now settled.
Okay.
We are not on the same page. Things are working fine. Okay. And in fact, I have to commend Buck Press.
Okay.
The Mr. Buckman and the gentleman, they were very cooperative.
Okay.
Because they didn't know what was happening in the down there by their printing people. They didn't know until I drew their attention. And they didn't protest. In fact, they were happy about it. So they asked, Bulk Press in particular, they asked their production manager to take me into the machine room for me to inspect all that they are doing. Probably I may see something that I'm not comfortable with. So the whole team went with me to their printing press. We went through everywhere, even to the vault where they'll be keeping the completed ballot paper, ballot booklets, where we'll be doing the final bagging and send them to the regions. That's the vault. We call it the vault. They took me there. So I went around all, and then when I got to their vault, I saw a security concern. I saw something that was not right. So I prompted them, which they would deal with it.
Okay. They will or they have?
Well,
or they've promised to?
Well, they will deal with it. But then it's not that much of a serious threat. Once there's surveillance, it can be dealt with. So because of all this, I told them that, look, you know something? Your security cameras, your CCTV cameras, which covers every operation, when we finish with the printing and we have to sign the final certificate, we will demand for a copy. Right from the time the printing started to the end of the printing, so that we can audit. Because you see, in 2020, the polling agent, the agents for each party per shift were 2.
Oh, okay.
2 for afternoon, 2 for morning, 2 for afternoon, 2 for overnight.
Okay.
Because they are human beings. One may be going to the gent. One may be going to urinate. Do any other thing. And there must be as a backup. That has always been the case. But this particular election, the EC decided that they were going to give each political party only 1 agent per shift.
Room for 1 agent?
1 for agent per shift.
Why? Did they explain why?
No, I don't know what happened. But then we'll get to that.
Okay.
Later, Mr. Kisi gave me the reason. And you really see that there's something wrong. So you realize that when you enter the printing house, the printing machines are huge. There's a place for the printing. There's a place for the serialization, numbering, which are also different machines. There's a place for where they do the binding, the cutting, the sorting, the stitching. They're all different places in the same huge building, depending upon the printing press. Bulk press is huge. So different places, even where they do the sorting and the binding, it's in a different floor up the building, first floor. So now you have only 1 agent per shift.
Who is supposed to monitor all that?
How is it possible that 1 agent will be monitoring the printing, serializing, cutting, stitching, sorting, binding, which is in a different floor? Virtually impossible. Do you see the game? So that single agent will be mentally stressed. He will lose focus. That is the intention. And they were very smart in the sense that you give all the political parties only 1 agent. Then they bring in 2 national security operatives, 2 NIB operatives to be inside the printing house. And you and I know that those are government apparatchiks. So the government indirectly has got 5 agents in the printing house.
You're suggesting that the NIB and the national security operatives would necessarily be working for the NPP?
My brother, you see, let's be very realistic here. The stakeholders for this election, NIB, which was formerly BNI, and national security, they have no locus, they have no place there. It is easy. The printing houses, the political parties, and the police. These are the 4 institutions, entities that are involved in this printing. NIB, national, they have no locus, they have no place there. But because they came with this plan to reduce the agents so that they can mount stress on our agents, they won't be able to monitor everything. And that will create the loopholes for them to be able to steal some of the SS sheets. the semi-life ones. And that's why initially they weren't giving the figures. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Now? So to put us at against the odds, they decided that, okay, now let's bring national security and NIB. They'll be sitting down there. When you told, say, oh, it's security. But you and I know very well that the first point of call when it comes to any of this is the police. And surprisingly, the NIB personnel and the national security they've put there, they have no names.
No names.
No names. They've just printed a laminated tag, hang on their neck. National security. Finish. No picture, no name, so you can't identify them. And they are inside the printing house with only one NDC agent per shift. And they are 4. 2 national security, 2 NIB, plus the MPP agents. 5. Serving the same government interest. Because the government is MPP. Let's not pretend. Government is MPP. And they want to stay in power.
So as far as you're concerned, you've counted 5 agents.
5
for the New Patriotic Party.
Yes,
by
5.
the arrangement.
Yes. And you see, there's no way they are going to national security to bring permanent staffs to come and do this work. And the reason why they are not putting their names, so you can't trace them. So even in the event that they are engaged in any activity, illegal activity there, all that you can do is to describe him. And they'll say, we don't have such a person in our outfit. They can easily remove the tag from his neck. Or you can, every day, they can even put a tag on another person's neck. And the person will come to national security. So I told them that this is not, it's unacceptable. Because the police have their names conspicuously written. They have their service number. So you can hold the person responsible. You know who you are dealing with. But these are people, national security, BNI personnel, or NIB you may call it. You can identify them. You don't know who they are. And they are there. So now, this is a game. So if an NDC man is standing at, let's say, the printing, where they are printing another constituency, and is there watching, they are doing serialization in a different machine, in a different place, maybe about 5 meters away, and there are other machines blocking him. They are doing cutting in another different place. They are doing stitching in a different place. They are doing sorting. They are doing binding in a different floor. He wouldn't know what is happening at the binding. And you see, the more that you are going, the more the security concern rises. Because once it's from semi-life, and they put a serial number on it, so it becomes life, then they are going to cut into ballots. They are going to do sorting, stitching, binding. Those are the places you must pay more attention to. But here's the case, the man is only one. So you see that one national security man is standing by our agents. And most often when our agents are moving, the national security personnel is following him. And the question, why are you following our agents around? So they are monitoring you. So whilst you are watching, they can give signal to their other colleague that, okay, his focus is here. Then they give the signal up. Then they can do whatever they want to do on the other side because you are not there. So they will be playing you around. I hope you get the game. Yeah, this is the game on the ground. So they've thought and planned this properly. So the odds are against us.
5 against 1.
5 against 1.
Is what you count.
So that's what I counted over there. So you can see that the Electoral Commission, Mr. Kisi, who is in charge of that particular aspect, they sat down and thought it properly. That instead of 2, let's reduce the agents to 1. And say 1 for all political parties. Level playing field. But we'll bring national security and NIB people to complement.
You're saying this is intentional from the Electoral Commission?
Intentional. So that they will mentally stress that single agent of the NDC. And they can play their games there. Because the rigging starts from the printing house. That's where it starts. It's not on the campaign platforms talking and no. It starts from the printing. That's where the rigging starts.
So I guess you've drawn the EC's attention to.
So I confronted Mr. Kisi, and I told him, "Why are you doing this? Why are you stressing our people?" Because I've entered the printing houses, and the places are huge. So many machines blocking everywhere, and the process is in different phases, in different departments. Even though some of the printing presses is within the same building, but segmented. I hope you get my point. Some other printing houses, you may have it in 2 separate places. So I think, like you see, let's be fair. 2020, there were 2, and they've always been 2. Why have you made it 1? Then you told me that, oh, it was a convention, but it wasn't right. And as if it's not broken, why do you want to fix it?
That it was a convention.
It was a convention. It wasn't law, and to him it wasn't right, and that the place will be crowded. So the printing house will be crowded. He has reduced it to 1-1. And I said, oh, so your concern was that the printing house floor will be crowded. That's why you reduce it to 1. Then he said, yes, because the place will be crowded. And I said, okay. So if you are reducing to 1, what are BNI and National Security having two from National Security, 2 from BNI per session, per shift there? They even have more personnel than the stakeholder, the political party. Do you understand my point?
Did he explain?
So what crowding are you talking about? They've brought 4 per shift, and they are not creating the crowding. But it's a political party that is supposed that was having 2, 2020. And if you maintain the 2, that will create crowding. What you are saying doesn't make sense at all.
But did he explain the presence of national security and NIB operating?
But he said that one is not within his domain.
It's not within the domain?
No, it's not within his domain.
So is he suggesting that the Electoral Commission did not request for these personnel?
No, because they are not part of the game, so they can't request for them. They only request for police. Police are those who handle it. National Security and NIB, they have no business in this ballot printing business. They have no business there. What are they coming there to come and do? They don't have any business there. So that is why when they are there, their tags have no names.
So you're suggesting that even the EC person who is supposed to be in charge of this, you said his name is Mr. Kisi, is saying that it is not within his purview as to how
the deployment of national security NIB. No, that is not his work. His own is that he has given 1 slot for each party to reduce crowding, as again 2020 2. And crowding was his issue. And I'm telling you, yes, we are talking about crowding, but here you have 4 being brought by 2 from NIB and 2 from national security. Is that not crowding? Is it not defeating your reason why you reduce our number and stressing our agents in so many phases of this printing, and thereby creating loopholes to exploit? So it has been nicely crafted. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Nicely crafted. They are very smart.
I understand that, but if you're concerned, how did you resolve that?
Yeah, so this is what I told them. I said, okay, that is your prerogative. You have the law gives you the right to exercise your discretion. But these are my countermeasures. Just as I just explained to you, every single sheet will be accounted for. And when we are done, before we sign a certificate of completion or distraction at the end of the printing, we will have to order the CCTV video to be sure that nothing untoward happened at the blind side of our agent, since our agent will be mentally stressed and cannot cover all the areas, the faces of the printing, because it's one human being. Now, when you come as a supervisor, you stay at the reception or outside. You don't enter the printing house.
Yourself when you go?
Yes. That's the law Kisi has put in place. That's a rule. You don't enter there. So that each point in time is only one agent there.
Okay.
Now, when you come, and the plan is that, when you come, you send for him. The security will go in there and go and call him to come out from the printing and come and meet you outside in the car park or the compound. So if you are to stay there for 20 minutes or 10 minutes for him to brief you of what is happening there, it means that NDS has no representation inside the printing house. You see how smart they are. You see how smart they are. Then they will say, it applies to all the political parties. When MPP also supervisor comes, he will call the agent to come out. Yes, he will come out. But they have NIB and national security still inside the printing house. So you see how smart they are.
Did you not anticipate this?
Well,
when the proposal was put in first that you're going to have only 1 instead of 2 agents.
Well, I'm not part of IPAC. I'm not part of IPAC. I was brought in to go and supervise agents. And when I went, because of my skill and expertise, I was able to detect this. Okay. And I was able to read the mind. Because, you see, you must think like a criminal to checkmate a criminal. If you go there as a prim and proper, and you are going to go by you are a man of conscience, and then everything is like a religious man. That game is not for you. You must think like a criminal. That's the only way you can crack their puzzle and checkmate them. So as soon as I got there and I saw that, I knew what they were about. Mm. But they always say, oh, it's one agent for everyone. But then they have national security and NIB as addition. So as soon as your agent comes out, the whole printing house there is free for them to do whatever they want to do. To come and brief you. Mm-hmm. And if your agent also goes out to go to the gent to go and urinate or to go and eat himself, the place is free. Do you understand my point? Mm-hmm. If your agent has seen something and he wants to come and inform you, he has to leave the printing operational room there where they are printing, come out to the reception, come and pick his phone, and then come and call you. That time, the place is empty. You don't have any backup. Are you understand the whole thing? If he wants to eat, you can't eat in the operational where they are printing. It's against the printing rules. So you have to leave there and come out to come and eat. So all the time that agent will be eating or come to drink water, they do whatever they want inside. They can do whatever they want inside there. So you see how they've sat down nicely to craft and create loopholes to exploit later. That's not my point. Mm. That is the game. It's a game of minds. It's not a game of muzzles. Mm. And that's what they've done. Mm. So as soon as I arrived there, I detected all. Okay. And I knew what they were about. So I started putting in measures to plug that.
So you still have one agent there?
We still have one. I've protested. I've made it clear to the East. And I said, okay, you don't want to change. We told me that you still want to maintain the one. I don't have a problem. But we'll audit your CCTV. From the time the printing started to the end. Before we sign any certificate of completion.
CCTV?
Yes.
So you want the surveillance, we want to see?
I want to audit all. For the 3 weeks that the printing will be taking place, we will want to audit it to know, to find out whether anything happened behind our agents or the blind side of our agents. That must be done.
Before we sign off?
Oh, yes. You see, my brother, you must understand, the stakes are high. So there's no gentility in this game anymore. Because you are dealing with people who are so smart, you can see that they are determined not to play by the rules.
But do all these places have CCTV cameras?
They are CCTV. So I told them, we don't want any game that you tell us that, oh, we had a problem here, or CCTV camera had a problem here, we off the machine, we didn't know. I said, no. I also have CCTVs, a lot of them. So I know the days that your CCTV, your recording can last, and all those things. So I've made it clear to all the printing houses, especially Checkpoint and Bulk Press, where they are printing Eastern region and Ashanti region. Yeah. I made it clear to them. We will audit your CCTV because you cannot handicap us with only one agent and expect that we'll just come and sign off. So your CCTV cameras are covering 24 hours. We'll audit them. We'll write to EC and request copies and go through it and be sure that not a single excess or nothing was printed or hidden. I hope you understand my concern.
I get it.
So these are some of the reasons why they are not comfortable with me. Mm. They are just not comfortable.
But on the matter of the national security and the NIB, beyond confronting the EC over it, have you tried to find out who actually deployed them?
Oh no, but national security and NIB, they can't be deployed without their heads. It's an institution that is well structured, well structured. So, but one thing that really, I had a confrontation with the national security at Checkpoint. I think 3 or 4 days ago. Mm-hmm. I got to the place to do my usual supervisor work. Okay. As soon as I just entered into the car park then I was confronted by 2 national security operatives at Checkpoint. that, orders from above, we are not to allow you to enter.
Really?
Yeah. Then I said, orders from who above? They said, from our bosses. And I said, by the way, who are you? Then they showed me the attack. And I saw National Security. And I said, young man, from National Security, say yes. And I said, okay, go and tell Kandapa, the Jakpa, I'm saying that he has no locus here. The only stakeholders here is the police, Electoral Commission, the printing house, and the political party. National Security is not a political party. So you have no locus here. So I will not obey your orders. I'm going to do what I came here to do. And you can't stop me. And don't dare touch me. So go and tell your boss. I said, I will not obey their orders. So whoever told that I cannot enter there, I will enter. So you had a small commotion there. And then one Electoral Commission man came. And so, but the man has got accreditation. So
this was not an order from the Electoral Commission?
No. So he came in and said, he had an accreditation. So the police also came in. And then he realized there was nothing they could do. And I had made giving them cogent arguments. I made it clear to them, they have no locus. And everyone there agreed with me. And I said, in any case, your tag that you are, that your laminated tag, has no name. So who are you, by the way? I said, just look at it. You have no name on it. You have no picture on it. So I don't even know who you are. And this tag that you're hanging, or rubber tag you are hanging on your neck, anybody can print it from any cafe or any company can just print this and hang it on your neck. So if you say you're a national security, show me your national security ID card. They couldn't show me their ID card. Because your ID card will really have your picture and everything, which is a rare national security ID card. You don't have it. You've gone to carry this laminated thing, no name, nothing, and you are standing there telling me that you receive orders from above that I shouldn't enter there when I have an accreditation. The only place I cannot enter is the printing room.
Okay.
Where my agents are.
That you're not allowed to enter.
That's where I'm not allowed, because the EC said supervisors cannot enter there. And I've told the reason why. They want to just leave one person there to be stressed.
You still insist that is the intention?
Yes, that's the intention. You see, you must be able to read the minds of criminals. People with criminal intent. You see, you need to be
overly suspicious.
You need to belong to the world I belong to understand what I'm saying. You belong to a world that things are structured, they move nicely, and you can say, oh, this man can do this. I don't expect him to do this. But where I belong to, no. Not at all. And that is the motive.
I was asking whether you're not being overly suspicious.
No, not overly. You should be asking, why do you reduce it from 2 to 1? And you'd rather have 4 operatives from the government, and knowing very well the government, MPP is the government. MPP is the government. So let's not play around with this. It's to me, it's a very serious issue, because I know the ramification. So that is why I am very, very wild on them. And I'm making sure that every single sheet, every single ballot is accounted for. So now they'll call the agents, they will count the spoiled ballots before they shred them, so that you don't create a situation where last day they printed 500 sheets. They don't, so it's left with 100. Then you ask them, why are the other 400? Oh, we shredded them. Why? Because they were not counting. So they can add anything instead of shredded. And in reality, they've only shredded about 50, and they've squandered about 200. It's gone. I want to avoid that.
So those were the main concerns you've had thus far?
Oh, yes. And once I started putting that measure, they became uncomfortable. And that's why they didn't even want me at checkpoints. And that's why they are printing Eastern region. You understand me? Mm-hmm. So I must be concerned.
Why are you not allowed to enter the printing room to observe, to see exactly what is happening?
That's what I'm saying. That is the reason. I've just explained to you their modus operandi. Plan with the EC and Mr. Casey in particular in charge. That's the reason. How can you reduce us from 2 to 1 and say that a supervisor who the omission and commission of his agent in the printer, he is responsible for the omission and commission of his agent. Me, the one who is hired as my agent, that have to supervise his work, whether he is sleeping in the printing house or he's fraternizing and he's not doing what we sent him there to do inside there. You said, I cannot enter there. I should stand outside and call him to come. So you don't understand the reason.
I see.
That's the game he's playing. When you say, oh, you see, supervisors were not involved. We just made a discretion to just add some exception to add the supervisors. But it's supposed to be only one. But that's the game. So you must also find a different way to still frustrate them and prevent them from achieving their aim.
So after putting in all your measures, at this point, are you comfortable with what is going on now? At least.
Well, as at now, at Buck Press, so far, so good. In fact, as I told the Mr. Buckman and the general manager, they are very cooperative.
Okay.
They are very cooperative.
Okay.
I must be very honest. It is checkpoint that the general manager was playing that game.
Okay.
Madam Hilda was playing that game until I escalated the issue, and it got to the owner of the company, checkpoint, and he came in. And one other issue that we've been having a problem is the plate.
Okay.
You know, to print the sheets, they design it, the EC gives them the data, the information, that is the pictures and all those security data, they give it to them. And then they input it in their computer, into the printing machines, and from which they generate a plate.
Okay.
And on the plate, they print the sheet. The sheet is put there to print.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yes, I understand.
So when they finish printing the sheets, you still have the design on the plate,
Okay.
which can be put back in the machine and print at any time.
Okay.
So this plate is very crucial. So after you've printed the EC figure and adjusted 2%, and your excess of 3,000 ballots for operational losses, why are you still keeping the plate? That's the question I asked them. I said the plate must be defaced and destroyed so that you don't print any semi-life sheets again. So destroy them, because you've created over about 3,000 excess for your operational losses. So you have no reason to still be keeping the plates. Then the owner of Checkpoint, he got my argument. He said, Jakpa, you have a legitimate concern. He doesn't understand why 3,000 SS for the printing company's operational losses, which is a lot, and you are still keeping the plate, which is a security risk because it can be used to print again on the blind side of my agent. So the man ordered the general manager to go and destroy the plate immediately. Then she went and came back and said, oh, she needed some ink to chemical to deface the plate, and that she wasn't having it. The man said, okay, take money. The man gave him money, gave her money. Go and buy the chemical and come and deface it and destroy it. Not knowing that she was buying time. Immediately they informed the MPP supervisor, who drove and came to Checkpoint. When he came, said, no, they can't destroy the plate, and started creating commotion.
But had they not finished using that plate?
Long ago, and they finished, and the constituency they've gotten the EC figures. In fact, the constituency have already been cut and binded into booklets, and they've gotten the figures. So they've gotten the figures, and they still have excess of over 2,000 and something ballots still there unused.
Oh, okay.
So I said, if you have that, what is your reason for still keeping the plates? And the owner of the firm agreed that it should be destroyed because it didn't make sense to him too. But that was a decision from the general manager, Hilda, and the MPP people refusing to destroy the plates.
Did they ultimately destroy it?
As I'm speaking now, they have not destroyed it. I'll explain, I'll get to that. So they didn't destroy it because they created commotion. And then the electoral commission rep over there said, okay, he is going to inform Mr. Kisi, boss, and get directives. And I said, okay, no problem. So the following day when I went there, the directive that came to EC is that they shouldn't be destroyed. They should keep them there until they have finished all the region, all the constituencies in the particular region before they are destroyed. In fact, initially, Mr. Kisi said they shouldn't be destroyed. They should keep them there until EC has done the bargain and the ballots have gone to the regions before the place should be destroyed. You see, that man is a bit diabolical. Very, 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 very subtle. So when I said no, so like I said, no, that cannot be. They cannot, the EC cannot send the ballots to the regions before the place are destroyed.
What was his reason for him?
His reason being that when they get to the region and they are checking, maybe there may be some losses and maybe they need to print again. And I said there can't be losses because you have 2% booklets extra on top. So what is your reason? You have 2% as EC booklet on top of the figure you need for that constituency, for contingency. Unless you are telling me that there's some, when you keep them, there's some grass cutter that comes to chew the booklets, or water poured on all the booklets. It doesn't make sense to me.
So as you speak now, those plates
I'll get there.
Okay.
So I protested. I said, no, that's not possible. That will not be allowed. So now they decided, okay, the place should be destroyed after a region's, they finish with all the constituency in a region. And the booklets have been bagged, ready to be escorted to the region. Then the place should be destroyed. But my issue was that they should be destroyed after each constituency.
Okay.
Because when you finish and you get your figures and you get your extra 2%, and there's still excess for the printing house tape and use lying down there, you don't have a reason to keep that constituency's plate, which can be used to print again, which is a concern for me.
Okay.
They rejected that. They now said for the whole region. So if it's Ashanti region, 47 constituencies or so, you have to wait for them to finish all. So now what we do is that now the agents are documenting all the plates. Okay, we've used 6 for this constituency. The next day we use 4. You add them. So you have to be handed over to your next shift. So you can keep track of them. And they should be placed at where he can always see them. That's the measures we put in place. I hope you understand. And that is working so far.
Okay.
Because so when they pass here, you have to also pass the other angle.
But that's extra work for your agent.
That's extra work for the agent. So you can see that it's deliberate to stress the man mentally. You are checking to be sure that nobody steals a plate. You are checking to be sure that the serialize, when they are doing the serialize, they don't go beyond the figure. They are cutting. You are there, you must be there. They are stitching, you must be there. They are binding, you must be there. They are sorting, you must be there. They are counting to package them the number to go to the vault, you must be there. When they go into the vault and they are packaging it, you must be in the vault. You one man. In different parts of the firm. Although some may be in the same building, but in different places where you go to this room working, you can't see the other side. And it's only one person. So this is deliberate.
I see.
It's deliberate. You know. So this is the difficulty we are facing over there. But you can see that their attention and their focus and their concern is more on checkpoint and bulk press.
Those are the 2 printing houses that they are most interested in.
And their national security operatives are hostile towards me.
In those areas? In
Yes.
those 2 printing houses?
They are hostile towards me.
But don't they have national security operatives in the other printing house?
They have them in other printing house. But they know where they are targeting. And it's only these 2 printing places that you have the 500 sheets extra, which culminates into 3,000 ballot papers.
Have they reduced that subsequently? After you noticed it and drew their attention?
Well, bulk press, I was there when he instructed them to reduce it. I've gotten the print board. I'm here to do the calculation to see where they've reduced it.
Okay.
But for checkpoints, they are maintaining the same 500. But we just have to put in measure to make sure they account for every single sheet. Is it not too much of a coincidence
expected to be cast today
that your two
following the
strongholds are
printing
printing
of the
500
ballot
sheets
papers?
extra as contingency
Printing
for
of
the
House
printing
of
presses?
Assembly ballot
Whilst
papers
all the other
commenced
places,
after
they are
the
doing
close of
200
candidate
less.
nominations, while printing of the Legislative
And that's the
Council
point I was
voting
coming to.
papers
What your
followed the draw for
conclusions are, what your
positions
suspicions
earlier
are,
this
based on what
One
you
is
see.
as good as
The
mine.
first batch of ballot papers
But the
received
issue
from
is
the
that,
printers are then
unfortunately for
sent
them,
to early
they can't have a
voting
way out.
centres around Australia
Because they
and
have somebody who is
overseas.
steps ahead of them.
Others would be
How
used
can
to
you be so
return
sure?
postal
You
votes
cannot
to
be
those
everywhere and
who
you
had
have
already
only one
lodged
agent, like you said.
applications.
Yeah,
The early
we know, but
voting
then as I'm
centres
saying,
have
we'll
now
go to the
been
CCTV
opened.
footage.
South
Even though
Australia's
we know
Electoral
that
Commissioner
the
Kay
CCTV
Mousley
footage may not be foolproof, because even in the EC's office, they have CCTV, yet machines got missing, right, at the EC office.
Okay.
So we had CCTV footage at the police headquarters, and yet cocaine tend to Conconte. So the track record is there when these people are in government. So you can't really trust them with this. But at least you just do your best. You do your best, you know.
Well,
You gotta do your best.
so far. I said I was going to do our attention once again, and thank you very much for making time to join us. There are a few things. The first one has to do with, this is a press release from the Electoral Commission, and I'm sure your attention has been drawn to it so far. It says the Electoral Commission announces for the information of the general public that following the implementation of the decisions of the district registration review officers and the high courts, as well as the revisions made after the re-exhibition of the provisional voters register, there have been slight revisions to the 2024 ballot statistics submitted to the political parties and the printing firms. The polling stations for which printing of additional ballot booklets is required sum up to 20. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay.
Aware.
That arrangement has been...
Well, I'm aware. That is not it's not any serious issue.
Okay.
At all. It's a normal thing, because they started printing with provisional figures.
Okay.
So once you are printing provisional figures and you get to the right figure, there will be some slight changes, but not that much. Maybe a booklet for your constituency, maybe 94 people. No, those are small. They are not that issue. They are not an issue at all.
Okay. The other one is, I'm sure you've seen the revised ballot paper that's been circulating after Madam Wegiadonko passed on. That puts the NDC now at number 7, former President Mahama specifically at number 7. Have you seen that?
I've seen it.
Has that changed? Does that change anything for those of you who are doing the printing?
No. In fact, it's a political mischief.
Okay.
It's just a mischief. You see, the late Wegiadonko was a presidential candidate.
Okay.
And the election is governed by CI 127.
Okay.
No, Regulation 17.
Okay.
Regulation. I'm not a lawyer, but then I just read small about it. Okay. Regulation, I think it's Regulation 17 to be specific. Okay. No, and from 1 to 4, it talks about if such a thing happened, but it's dealing with parliamentary.
Okay.
That particular side deal with the parliamentary, because it's talking about the constituency that you have to hold the election, you have to suspend the election.
Okay.
For that particular constituency, should the candidates pass on. In this case, it's dealt only with parliamentary, which is the constituency. Okay. Which means there are more constituencies, but that particular affected constituency. So that is the constituency. The law is very silent on presidential candidates. Okay. So there's a legal laguna there. Very, very silent. It didn't talk about what you have to do should a presidential candidate pass on after the notice of pool. Okay. And the printing ballots have been printed. It doesn't, it's very silent on that area. So I don't see any change in the number 8 that NDC is positioned.
And so far, have you printed, I'm sure you've printed many ballot papers with a face on it.
The presidential, we are done, some of the firms are done with presidential. I think it's only left with InnoLink and then Checkpoint and then Fonstart. Okay. I think so. But Buck Press and As Commercial, they are done with their presidential. Okay. In fact, they are doing parliamentary. Okay. They do parliamentary. And I think assembly press are also having difficulties. But bulk press, they have even bargained.
Okay.
The
presidential.
They are bargaining and we are putting our seals on them.
With Ekweadonko's face.
Already in, bagged and
on
sealed.
the ballot paper.
Yes, bagged and sealed. Bagged and sealed. So that's what you can do about it.
So logistically, there's nothing.
No, there's nothing that you can do about it. They are already, we have bagged them and sealed some of them, and we are printing parliamentary at bulk press.
Okay.
You go to some of the places, some of the presidentials have already been bagged and sealed.
Okay.
In some places. So there's nothing they can do about it. No. All that they can do is that probably they may get a marker, and then when they get to the police station, they may just cancel her name or whatever it is. Or if you go and vote there, to be a spoiled ballot. That is all.
Did you just say there are problems at the assembly press?
Oh, yes.
What was the challenge there?
The challenge is that their machines have been breaking down. They will print small technical problems. They have to stop here and there. So that's the problem they are facing.
Oh, they have a problem with their machines?
Yes. So they are not consistent in the printing.
Okay. They are not moving as fast as the
As
other.
fast as just a lot of breakages.
Is that what happened in the case of Yasako too?
After Yasako, they didn't have the capacity at all.
They did not have the capacity.
They didn't have the capacity at all. They couldn't even print one ballot sheet.
But the Electoral Commission says that they have printed ballot papers in the past. So the issue of capacity, they refute.
You are talking in the past. Ballot papers in the past. Which year? Is it 2020?
You said they've been doing it since 1996.
And then when was the last time they engaged them? That's the question you should be asking them. But just saying that in the past, it's too elastic. So you ask them in the past, when was the last time you engaged them? 2020 or 2023? You should be specific.
So as far as your observation for this period is concerned, they didn't have the capacity.
They don't have the capacity. They couldn't even print one ballot. They couldn't even print one ballot.
What was their challenge?
Well, I think it's an issue of investment and outdated technology, poor management over there. I think the owner has passed on.
Okay.
I think the son that has taken over. And I think they are having management problems and other things. When you're a good entrepreneur and at times you leave your sweat and blood, your legacy to your children, at times they run it down. So maybe that could be one of the issues. I'm not saying that's it, but looking at things, they're having management problems.
And the EC also indicated that they've shared their workload with, I think,
they've given one to bulk press and they've given one to Ask Commercial.
Okay.
And those two companies have excess capacity.
Okay.
In fact, they are done with their presidentials. They have excess capacity.
So they are able to take on that extra.
They can even take on more. The one that is at Assembly Press, they can take on. All the other printing parts that are delaying, for example, Phone Start and all other ones that are delaying, they can still send to bulk press and then Ask Commercial.
You'll be able to handle
They can finish and meet the deadline. They have more than excess capacity. Those two presses, Ask Commercial and bulk press, they have more than excess capacity.
So aside them, so for you now, Assembly Press is the slowest.
It's not Assembly Press. The slowest should be Phone Start.
Phone Start. Do you have the same issue with them when it comes to capacity?
No, they have the capacity, but I think that place is management problem.
Okay.
It's management problem.
But you're sure they will be able to?
Oh, they'll be able to. No, they'll be able to do it.
Same with Assembly Press. That ultimately.
Well, Assembly Press, the way their machines are breaking down, I can't vouch for them. Their machines are breaking down here and there. So I don't know what their issue is, but they are having problems with their machines, and that is slowing down the work.
I see. Let me just shift.
But then there was one issue that I have to let other Ghanaians know.
Okay.
At checkpoint, we have a vault.
Okay.
Where we put the finished booklets.
Okay.
The live one, the one that is ready to move to the constituencies, to the regions. Final product. That's where you go and you store it.
Okay.
Can you believe that? Where the vault, where they store all the final products, they have a window at the top, opened. Wide one from the one wall to the other wall.
Opened. Can I go through it?
Excuse my language. Even your pregnant wife will go through it.
Really?
I understand my point.
Yeah.
One at the top there. So you see one of the reasons why they don't want agents to, they don't want supervisors to enter. You know. But luckily for me, I was able to enter initially. So I saw it. And I raised issues. I said, no. I said, what is your fault? He said, this is the fault. I said, this is not a fault.
Yes. A vault is supposed to be secure.
Thank you. I said, this is not a fault. All that the person needed just to stretch the hand and hold it and just yank himself in and go and pick the ballots and then they're out.
Good.
And then they will replace some of the SS there. And my agent will be down there at where the printing is. Or the agent has come out to come and meet me in the car park or the reception to have a discussion. And they do whatever they want. I said, what kind of game is this? So I had a meeting with the management. And I said, I want that place closed. That's not a vault.
I see.
And that was one of the reasons why the national security people confronted me. Because that day I was coming for that meeting to ensure that they sealed that place.
Okay. Has that been done?
As I'm speaking to you, they are taking measures to seal it. They brought technicians to take measurements, and my agents are monitoring them to make sure that they get that place done.
Meanwhile, that place is holding
Eastern region, Ballot. And that was so they said, I'm not allowed to enter there. I said, you lie bad. Because that particular day, I was going to address that open vault. You know.
Are you sure nothing has happened to those ballot papers?
No, my agents went. They went and had asked for a recount of what has been stored there.
Okay.
Because since I raised the issue, for some days they were doing nothing about it. And that is how to escalate it to the owner and make the owner aware that if you don't get it done, I'm going on air. And I'm going to mobilize my NDC security full soldiers. They will surround the whole printing house to make sure that nothing escapes. So if you don't want to have a PR nightmare, you better seal it. Because that doesn't qualify as a vault. And if you don't understand the stakes are extremely high. So I want that place sealed. Because my agents can be monitoring the printing and be monitoring an open vault at the same time. A vault is a vault, so I want it closed. Sealed. So as I'm speaking to you now, they are taking measures to seal it. No. So right from here, I will have to go there to go and see whether they've done it or not.
They've sealed it.
They've sealed it. But they are taking stock of what is inside there to make sure that nothing gets out.
Like I continue to say, your agents have a lot of work to do.
No, and it's only one person per shift. It's not easy. It's not easy at all for them.
In the meantime, I wanted to shift your attention a little bit to security issues because I realized that when we're talking throughout our conversation, you seem to have a certain awareness when it comes to matters of security and vulnerabilities. When you do an assessment of the security arrangements for the upcoming election so far, are you impressed?
Well, I'm not part of their security arrangement. I don't know what meetings they've had over throughout the whole of 2024 to prepare for the election because I am not part of their national security architecture. And I know there are a lot of professionals in the police, in the military, at national security, and they've been doing this over the years. So they don't know what they are supposed to do. But all that I can do is to my concern is an isolated concern. Especially with the military.
Military?
The military. The military. You see, the election, the military are not supposed to be involved at the polling stations. Internal security are for the police, not the military. The military comes in through a procedure. and that is, it falls under what we call internal security, IS, internal security operations.
Okay.
And that has a procedure to activate that for the military to come in. So the stakeholders in the security institutions that are supposed to be dealing with this election, the primary security agency is the police.
Okay.
Which falls under the Ministry of Interior. Now, if the police feel that they don't have enough men, they can co-opt immigration, prisons, fire service, customs to augment their numbers.
Okay.
To spread across the country.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yes.
And this is how it's supposed to be. Now, for the military to come in, of what this government is pushing, amid resistance from professional army officers, that they don't want the military to be involved in this political election. They should leave them to stay in their barracks and protect our territorial integrity. In fact, they have more pressing concern at the border, the northern borders, where you are having the jihadists who are in the southern part of Burkina. They are a threat to our northern border.
Okay.
And that is the concern of most of the professional military officers. That is their concern. So they don't want to be saddled with election politics and dragging the military into it.
Okay.
I hope you are getting me.
Okay.
Except a few military officers who are politically tainted, and they happen to be in very sensitive high command, and they command troops. They want to get themselves involved. But the majority are not interested
in getting involved
in this election business.
And you think they shouldn't be?
They shouldn't be. There's a procedure. I'll explain to you how they can get involved.
Okay.
But for now, their focus should be at the border.
Okay.
The northern borders. Because once you are in election and we are all focused, there's a likelihood that the insurgents or the jihadists, they can take advantage and infiltrate, melt into Ghana, to the northern part of Ghana, and do whatever they want to do, maybe turn them into a logistic hub, radicalize some of our people here and there. So our eyes supposed to be there whilst we are conducting election. So it's the military that must be equipped to be at the border there to make sure that the people don't come. But even for the military to go and conduct that, they need to sensitize the citizens over there.
Okay.
For them to know that, oh, we are coming there because of A, B, C, D. And that must be done a month or two before the election.
Okay.
So they will know that we will be deploying and patrolling along the border. It's not to intimidate you. So the number they must send there must not be a number that is too huge to intimidate our people over there. And patrol along the border to make sure the insurgents, those jihadists, do not penetrate and take advantage of our election and come in. So you must get the chiefs, get the people, let them know that you are not there for them. You are just there for these insurgents. Just for that. So they can vote without being intimidated. I hope you get my point.
Yes.
Now, during the election, if there happen to be any commotion in any part of the country, in any part of the polling station or constituency, there's a clear procedure for the military to come in, and they all know it.
Okay.
The police will have to make a request to the military. That is, if the situation happening there is beyond their control, they are overwhelmed, and there's no longer law and order, then the IGP will have to get in touch with the CDS. We have an issue here. The police cannot control it anymore. It's beyond our control. There is a form they have to fill. There's a procedure they have to go through. Then the CDS will then issue orders, which will descend through the chain of command to the service, to the chief of staff, to the service commanders, who will then also issue to the various commands. You get to the battalion commanders, you get to the battalions, and if it falls within their area of operation, they will also move in there. And once the military goes in there, they take over. And their main purpose is to restore law and order.
Okay.
And hand over back to the police.
Okay.
And go back to their barracks.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yes.
That is the point at which the military are supposed to come in to assist the police to restore law and order. And there's a clear-cut procedure for that. what they are supposed to be doing. And when the IGP is requesting, he's supposed to be very specific. It is for this particular constituency, this particular polling station, this area. Specific. So it doesn't become a wholesale. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
So they are specific. So when that is done, clear orders will be given with clear rules of engagement for that particular incident and the various level of graduation.
When you go in there, how they
Yes.
tackle the situation.
They tackle the situation based upon what is happening there.
Okay.
The gravity of the situation will determine the level of force that is supposed to be used.
Okay.
And that will be factored in the rules of engagement.
Okay.
Clear orders given. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Because the military is very precise when it comes to issuing orders for operations. They don't do things anyhow. So this is the only way the military can come in. So we don't expect the military to come in, even though you have very senior officers, some of them who are pushing
Okay.
some of the hawks at the presidency to get the military involved because they can see defeat staring them in the face.
How will the military help them avoid the defeat that you say is staring them in the face?
What happened at Techiman? Were you not a witness to 2020 election? You were a witness. What happened there? 8 young able men were gunned down. True or false? I'm asking true or false?
Oh, it's true.
Thank
it's true.
you. They were gunned. What has happened? Nothing. Their lives matter. Their lives do not matter to Akufo-Addo. And he got his next 4 years. And it's just about ending. So you must take cognizance of their history in maintaining power. I hope you understand my point. So it's a great concern.
The involvement of the military.
But luckily for us, we have a lot of professional military officers who are doing everything to keep the military out of the political game and allow the democratic process to take its course. If Ghanaians have decided that it should be John Dramani Mahama, so be it. If they've decided it should be Bawumia, so be it. But the military want to stay professional and not to be dragged into this political terrain.
If there's a tussle between the top hierarchy of the military, some of them, like you say.
No, they are screaming, doing everything.
And I'm guessing for you, you know how power is played.
Yes.
Who do you think will win that battle?
Well, for me, I think so far the military will stay out of it. From where I sit,
The military.
and the int I have, the military will stay out of it. They will stay out of the politics.
Out
And
of the
remain
elections.
Out of the election and remain professional. And only way to go through the procedure of activating the internal security operations if the need arises.
Okay.
And get it done and get back to their barracks. For that, I am very certain. And if any military officer who is in command decide to be adventurous or decide that he is going to play to the political hawks of the MPP and deploy military personnel illegally in any part of the country, I can bet you he will have the shock of his life. Soldiers will turn against him. Because those who want to preserve this democratic dispensation and they want the election to take its normal course, they are more than those who want to do the dirty work for this government. I cannot take it from me.
And these assurances are coming from?
They will turn against them.
You're sure?
And they will not live to enjoy their booty.
Where are you
So
getting
for me-
these assurances from?
I know what I'm talking about. Trust me when I'm telling you this. So for me, it's a caution to them.
Okay.
They know themselves. They know themselves. There is no part of the army. You know, army is made of 3 branches. The army, the Ghana Armed Forces made of 3 branches. The army, the navy, and the air force. and they are all being commanded by service commanders. None is autonomous. None is autonomous.
Okay.
They all come together to form the Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
None is autonomous. And there's clear structure. It's a pyramid. So if there's someone at the army that thinks that, with the illusion I'm semi-autonomous, so I can command troops in battalions and for them to deploy and do some games, to play political game for promotion or for political advantage, he will be shocked that the troops, the majority, they will turn against him to protect the democracy that we are having. That I can assure those officers, and I know them. I know them.
Mr. Jakpa, we have to bring this to a close, but before we do that, just to draw attention to this is the Electoral Commission. They issued a statement just about a few hours ago. Death of 2024 presidential candidate, Madam Ekwe Adonko. And it reads, the Electoral Commission has today received information on unfortunate passing of the presidential candidate of the Ghana Freedom Party, Madam Ekwe Adonko. May she rest in peace. While the 1992 Constitution and Public Elections Regulations 2020 CI 127 are not clear on the processes to follow in the event of the death of a presidential candidate, Article 54 of the 1992 Constitution provides as follows. Where at close of nominations, but before the election, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. And it says the Commission has since informed the GFP to make arrangements to nominate a new candidate and inform the Commission accordingly. In the meantime, the Commission has suspended the printing of presidential ballot papers, which was near completion. Thank you. Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman Operations.
Okay, so if they've suspended and they want to reprint again, I think we have our legal department. They have what it takes to deal with this issue in a better way. I hope you understand my point. As for me, I will only, since they've suspended printing, I will only wait. When they are done with their legal gymnastics, I'm an operational man. When they are done with their legal gymnastics, I'll be called to do my operational work. And I'll go to enforce what I'm supposed to do. I hope you understand. To ensure that not a single sheet, not a single ballot escaped from the printing houses into the hands of the MPP. That is what I'm supposed to do.
So you leave this in the hands of the NDC to deal with, the party at the legal
The party legal department will deal with this. They are close to the powers and they have the legal knowledge to deal with this appropriately. I'm not a lawyer. No. So they will deal with it. And see. For me, I'm just waiting. Once they are done and they say they are resuming printing, I'll call to do my work. And I'll go and I'll do it. But then there's one thing I'll add before I leave.
Okay.
You see that the United States government has issued a warning. The current government officials should take it very serious.
The warning that has been issued.
They should take it very serious. You see, Ghana is not an island. We are not an island at all. And this world, you must understand geopolitics to understand how the world is governed. So I am also further requesting that the EU, they are also a stakeholder. They shouldn't wait. They should be proactive just like the United States government. Because the signs of chaos of this government repeating 2020 and even worse is clear. So the EU shouldn't sit down and only send observers for an election. Or wait, when things get bad, then they are coming for negotiation. No. They should be proactive and also issue possible visa ban to those who may want to disturb the election and use illegal means to stay in power. They should also follow the Americans, the way the Americans have been proactive, and also issue a possible visa ban so that those who will be creating problems in the election and will not want to follow due process, the rogues, they will not be able to hide in any of the European countries. Their family will not be able to hide there. They should all stay in Ghana. And so that we deal with the problem in Ghana here. But US as issue, European Union is quiet. I will urge them, they should also come out to follow suit. They should be proactive. So that we'll have all the two doors, the two main doors where they'll be running to, closed. Then they will know that they will stay in Ghana here. They have nowhere to go. And ECOWAS should not also sit down. They should also be proactive. And let them get the signal that if they don't also become proactive, they shouldn't be rushing to Ghana to come and say they can solve any problem, because they've been sitting down and they've seen the signs and symptoms that there could be problem, because those in charge of this country have done it before in 2020. And they are likely to do it again. So ECOWAS should also come out and be proactive. So the government will understand that all doors are shut. The only door left for them is to do the right thing.
Okay.
And protect our nascent democracy. Because in West Africa, it's a very turbulent region. And we are the only shining democratic nation that the West is proud of. That's a big one of democracy here. So they have interest to protect that democracy. They have interest to protect it. Because they don't want military takeover. And you can't predict what they will do. And before you realize, they will lose their grip here too. They've lost Burkina. They've lost Niger. They've lost Mali. And the wind is blowing. So they are, and in geopolitics among its power rivalry is very, very crucial to them. So for them, their interest is bigger than MPP and NDC. They are looking at how to keep the democracy and keep their interest here and protect their interest for their multinational companies and other things. I hope you understand.
Yeah.
So they have a bigger interest. So they don't want anything to disturb the democratic dispensation here in this country. You've done your 8 years. Ghanaians don't want you. Go by the rules of the game. You lose, walk away quietly, and go and relax, and let the new government come and also continue. Smooth transfer of power.
What will happen if the attempt will happen in 2020?
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that if they attempt, there will be chaos. You see, this time around, I have always said that Supreme Court will not come in. They should go on sabbatical leave.
They will not be part of it.
No one is going there with any case. No one, we are not going to High Court, we are not going to Supreme Court. The judicial system, they should go on leave. We will solve the problem on the street.
On the streets?
On the street. Across all the constituencies, over 270 constituencies across the country. That's how we solve the problem. There will be nothing like we are going to any High Court or Supreme Court and go and have unanimous football club decisions. No, we are not going there. It will be on the street. So if the international community, the EU, ECOWAS, the American government, they are hearing me, they should make sure to hold this government to their balls and make sure they go by the rules of the game. And when they lose, they leave. Because no intimidation at the polling station is going to cover any NDC person. It won't happen. It won't happen at all.
I see.
I hope you understand my point. And there's one thing I need to tell our polling agents. It's very crucial. You see, MPP modus operandi in Reagan is that anytime they manage to get extra polling, extra ballots, and they thumbprint it, They put it in their age, those who are going to staff the ballot box, they put it in their sleeves. They wear long sleeves. They will let them wear long sleeves. And they will load them inside. Or they will put them under their pants, inside their pants, just under their belt. Now they wait, their polling agents there will check the statistics. If it is about 300 people who are supposed to vote in that particular polling station, they will wait till it's around 1, 2. Then they will come there and they will come and take the statistics. And they will check and say, okay, 50% have voted or 45% have voted so far. It's around 2. It left about 3 hours or so to close pool. Then they look at the way people are coming. No, we won't get 100% voter turnout here. So we have about 50. Then they'll go and get about 30%. Give it to those their guys. They will come and take the ballot, the normal ballot. Because they are on standby to come and do a normal voting. Now when they get to the polling booth there, when they do their thumbprint and they put it inside, then they will remove it from their sleeve and add it. Pull it from here and add it. Because they are alone in the booth. That's my point. So at the end of the voting, you go and count. And it's not overvoting.
Okay.
It's not beyond the 300 that was the limit for that police station. It's not overvoting. But they would have pushed it from about 50 or 60%, that would have been the turnout, to about 89 or 90 or 95%. So what it means is that they've maximized the vote at that particular police station. Do you understand my point? So now when they go and they are counting, and the presiding officer, the AG officer, start sorting things out, and your agents are not meticulous in checking and counting what they have ticked, because the ticking is a physical human beings that come to point to vote, which you must tick, and that must tally with the biometric verification. The two must tally. So once you get the two tallying, the two must also tally with what you've counted in the ballot box.
Okay.
Do you get my point? So all the three must converge with the same figure. Then you know that the MPP, they were not able to smuggle in extra votes. I hope you understand my point. So now when they are sorting out the ballot papers, when they sort them out, they sort them NDC, MPP, fast. And when they finish, they start counting. They pick MPP. 1, 2, 3. They are counting. So if you are not a smart agent, they will finish counting MPP 20, NDC 50, GPC PP 1, so on. NDC have won. Then you are happy. Hey, you have won. I hope you get my point.
Yes, I do.
But in reality, if you add up all the ballot papers and you count them one by one, and you do suppose that against your taking and the biometric verification figure, you see that the ballot papers are more than what you have taken and what is registered on the biometric. Then you know that they smuggled more in, but they were so smart that they didn't want it to go over voting, so they've maximized their votes. So immediately, you don't allow them to do the announcement. You ask for, they should check the serial numbers of the ballot papers that were counted. And when you start checking, you see that you either have double serial number or serial number that are outside the range. I hope you get my point. Then you scoop them out. And of course, those ones you are taking out will be MPP votes. So they'll get back to their normal figure. I hope you understand my point. Yeah. So I want our polling agents to take note of this, so that in the event that they are able to outwit us at the printing houses, and they manage to send anything out, or they manage to get the data from EC after the print, everything is closed. They manage to get the data from EC, and they go to a different printing house and go and print, which is possible. Because this is, you can't trust them of keeping data. So, of the ballot. So it can get to the MPP. After we finish all the printing, they will go to a different printing house and still go and print more. we would have done with our work. Maybe 2 weeks to election, they'll go and print more, secretly for a different printing house. And they'll send them to Ashanti and Eastern, where they know they can go and do their rigging. So when they get there, this is the plan B, the counter check for that particular one too. You do at the polling station, so that even though they've managed to do secret printing, they will not be able to put in the ballot box. And if they put it there, you still catch them and get it out. I know what I'm getting,
Yes,
how I'm getting to.
I understand.
So all these measures must be put in place. And if you are able to do that, they will get the real figure in Ashanti and Eastern region. And there's no way they can win this election. They can't win the election. If our polling agents are listening to me, and that D-Day, they were conscious enough, and they pay attention to details, and they do as I'm saying, and they don't get carried away by the euphoria of counting, and maybe NDC has won. NDC can win in that particular polling station, and NPP can lose. But the figure they lost might not be the realistic figure. And when you aggregate it from all the polling stations, the figure may be big. It may mean a lot.
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yes.
They can add 20 or 30 even to a particular polling station, and they'll still lose in that polling station. 20, 20, 25, 5, 5, 5 from all the polling stations. You aggregate them. It's a big figure. I hope you understand.
Yes.
So we must be meticulous. We must check every single thing and make sure that all the three figures, they converge. We shouldn't be carried away when they are counting and we are winning and we start jubilating and we are happy. No. We should look at the details, the figures.
Mr. Jakpa,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And by the way, do you have difficulties? Does your open involvement with the NDC create problems, or consider you are a subject of a prosecution?
Okay, so you are finding ways and means to chip this, to lob this in. I'm a free man. I'm a free man. Do what I like best.
You are a free man.
I'm a free man. I love to be in the field, to be on the streets. I love operational issues. So I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm a free man.
Doesn't create any trouble for you?
Not at all. In Ghana here.
Yes.
In Ghana here.
Yes, in Ghana.
Not at all. I'm very happy in Ghana. And if I die and I'm gone in 5 days, reincarnation, I'm to be created again. I want to be brought back to Ghana. I want to come back to Ghana. You understand my point? So I'm very comfortable here. I don't have any issue at all.
I see.
I understand my point.
Yes. Thank you.
Have you seen, what do you call it, a gorilla in the jungle being worried about the jungle?
A gorilla in a jungle.
Worried.
Being worried about it.
Worried about the jungle. It's very comfortable.
So this is normal for you?
Normal. I'm comfortable.
I see.
I'm in my comfort country. I'm very comfortable.
Mr. Jakpa, thank you. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Okay, my brother.
Yes. Mr. Richard Jakpa is in charge of supervising the agents the NDC has assigned to monitor the ballot printing process. And he joined us this morning to... Charlie. Hey. Eric is behind me shouting this evening, and Nancy is also shaking as if we don't do morning. Please, this is our very first Election Matters show. We're hoping to do another one on Thursday. So Thursday, do make a date with us on Election Matters.
I'm always ready for you.
So thank you very much. Before we go, just one thing. Jaga 4 Bitters is the ultimate alcoholic beverage made from 46 natural herbs and fruits to elevate your experience. Infused with the goodness of herbs and fruits, Jaga 4 Bitters offers anti-aging and anti-inflammatory benefits, appetite boosting, enhanced libido, relief from menstrual cramps, no hangover. All this without leaving any stench in your mouth. Whether it's a celebration or relaxation, Jaga 4 Bitters is the perfect choice for every occasion. And as always, we remind you to drink responsibly. To stay sharp, drink Jaga 4 Bitters. For more purchase, call 059 2900 901 or 0205 1322 Well, the team is still here. We have to be here tomorrow morning. And one of the things, of course, we'll go back to is discussing the decision of the Electoral Commission in the wake of the Ekwe-Adonko, the passing of Madame Ekwe-Adonko. So do join us tomorrow morning. But thank you very much for joining us on Election Matters. We are back Thursday. And of course, the train is on. Yes, the train is on from 9 p.m. Night train will be mentioning the virus. Don't go anywhere. And a big thank you to Richard Kwanzaa, who handled Facebook Live for us.